Digital Foundry's tech analysis shows that God of War Ragnarök is a PlayStation 4 game, and we have a launch window for Diablo 4. All right, guys, before we get into this, I see a lot of you are new here. If you enjoy this content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. God of War Ragnarök is set to release this week, and it is getting incredible reviews, tons of 10s across the board. A very, very exciting game to look forward to on the PlayStation 5. One of the main things people are asking about God of War Ragnarök is this a PlayStation 5 from the ground up game, or is this a PS4 game? We've seen all of the memes and jokes and everything about God of War Ragnarök just being DLC to the 2018 God of War, which I don't think it is actually DLC because it sounds like it's a brand new, just amazing story with some new features, and it's a full-length game. But one of the things that I will say that I've said before is that God of War Ragnarök is a PlayStation 4 game that has just been enhanced for the PlayStation 5. This isn't a full-fledged next generation PS5 game. And now Digital Foundry has confirmed this as they have done their tech analysis on God of War Ragnarök, and here is what they said.
God of War Ragnarök is unabashedly a PlayStation 4 game that has received an enhanced release on PS5. And overall, it works out pretty well, but my feelings on this are slightly mixed, especially compared to releases such as Horizon the Forbidden West. So obviously, as I've already touched on, the benefit of creating a cross-gen game on PS5 includes the ability to target very high levels of performance and polish. I'm relatively certain that a from-the-ground-up PS5 version of God of War would not deliver a completely locked 60 frames per second, let alone the 80 to 90 you get in the high performance mode. So in that sense, playing this on PS5 kind of feels like playing another multi-platform game on a gaming PC. It is fundamentally the same experience, but it's noticeably improved, which is a good thing. Yet when examining the overall game structure, I can't help but consider other possibilities. I wouldn't want to see God of War become an open world game, mind you, but there's a sense that all those little animations, crawl spaces, and tight squeezes kind of slow the overall pace down. Yes, I know, many of these are placed there just to keep the player in specific spaces during key combat moments, but I have to admit I'm not a huge fan of that specific design choice. Could they push the world design out a little further if it had been an exclusive? Would they even want to? There's really no way to know this, and pretending otherwise is just a fantasy, but still, it's something to think about.
So there you have it. It's unabashedly a PS4 game with enhancements to the PlayStation 5, which again is not a surprising thing. This is something we saw coming. There was no way that they were going to hold God of War to the limited install base right now that the PS5 has. There's still over 20 million or so consoles out there for the PlayStation 5, but when you think about that and how many units of the God of War that are going to sell, they want to make sure that they can tap in to the massive amount of people out there with only just a PS4 right now. We can see here the different modes, and on the PlayStation 4 it's running at a locked 30 frames per second, but you're getting all the way up to 1656p. And then when we move over here to the PlayStation 5, you're getting that quality mode at 2160p in native 4K, but still only hitting that 30 FPS target, which calls into question all of the debate that have been going on over the last couple of weeks as to which console is the potato, which console is holding back this generation. People liking to look at the Xbox Series S, which I think is an absurd statement that the Xbox Series S is a potato holding back this generation of consoles, with all of the proof that has already come out with games running great on the Xbox Series S, and developers able to optimize games so you are still getting great performance with adjustments to different graphical things, like even just looking at the most recent Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and how that runs on the Xbox Series S. They've made some changes to it to get 60 FPS on the Series S, but it still looks and runs great. And when we talk about the potato again, the potato right now in this generation that is going to be holding games back from reaching their full potential is going to be the PlayStation 4 at the end of the day. It brings us all the way back to the marketing and the messaging that Jim Ryan put out that he's completely abandoned with the PlayStation 5. And that was that they believed in generations, that they were going to just kind of make PlayStation 5 games for the PlayStation 5. This is from an article from GameIndustry.biz all the way back in May of 2020. And it says here, one way to keep PS4 users engaged would be to make upcoming PS5 games playable on the older machine, just like Microsoft is proposing with his Xbox Series X games being playable on Xbox One. Yet Ryan says that's not something PlayStation is interested in doing. Says here, we have always said that we believe in generations. We believe that when you go to all the trouble of creating a next-gen console, that it should include features and benefits that the previous generations do not include. And that in our view, people should make games that can make the most of those features. We do believe in generations, whether it's the DualSense controller, whether it's the 3D audio, whether it's the multiple ways that the SSD can be used. We are thinking that it is time to give the PlayStation community something new, something different that can really only be enjoyed on PS5. And obviously when it comes to stuff like that, those were literally just made up marketing quotes from Jim Ryan with no intention of keeping God of War Ragnarok on just the PlayStation 5. It makes absolutely no business sense to do something like that. So from the offset of God of War Ragnarok, we knew this game was going to be coming to PlayStation 4. We knew this wasn't going to be a full PS5 from the ground up game. It was going to be an enhanced PS4 game. And I don't even think it is that big of a deal just because of the fact the game looks and plays amazing from everything that we are hearing. And I'm excited to jump into it on Wednesday. It's not going to stop me or anyone else really from jumping in. It is still going to be most likely a masterpiece of a video game. But we look at the stuff when it comes to marketing terms. PlayStation, since the launch of the PS5, has just pretty much put out different marketing messages from before the PS5 was out to when the PS5 launched to as we have moved through this generation, continuously changing their messaging, because the first messaging that they had was just to get people to go out and buy the PS5 right away and to get interested in the console, fully knowing that it wasn't stuff that they were going to be able to continue throughout this generation. And then we look at the Xbox side of things. A lot of people made fun of Xbox for a lot of the terms that they put out there, such as smart delivery, as just being a marketing term. But it's one of the best quality of life features, and we are seeing that prove even further now with stuff like this. This is a tweet here from Tom Warren, and it says, Bungie says it has noticed a notable number of PS5 players playing the PS4 version of Destiny 2 on their current generation consoles. It's also modifying some of the textures on PS4 and Xbox One to reduce their memory footprint. Here's the before and after. And I bring this up because the difference we have seen so far throughout this generation is the marketing that Xbox has done from the beginning haven't just been marketing terms. They have been things that have really improved the quality of life features. They are completely transparent about their first party games and still supporting the Xbox One. And on the other side, you have the PlayStation and Sony, who are completely non-transparent of what they were really intending and doing. And now we are seeing it play out here with God of War Ragnarok, where the technical reviews are coming out and all of the game sounds and looks amazing. It definitely isn't something that is taking full advantage of the PlayStation 5 console, which is something Jim Ryan said they wanted to do before the release of the PS5. So whether it's a PS4 game or a PS5 game, another thing to think about is that the Xbox Series S is in no way going to hold back this generation, at least as of now. If you're getting a game that is looking as good as God of War Ragnarok, being able to run on the PlayStation 4 at 30 FPS up to 1440p or 1656p in one of the modes, then there is no way that developers, if they optimize games properly, aren't going to be able to continue to push out great looking and performing games on the Series S throughout this generation, especially with more tools being utilized. I know we always like to talk about tools, but a lot of the RDNA 2 stuff within the Xbox architecture still hasn't been utilized. And once they can really start using that, I think we are going to see the longevity of the Xbox Series S and obviously the Xbox Series X and even the PS5, if they have access to those types of tools, go longer than we can expect. So one of the best games shown off at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase this past year was Diablo 4, an extremely exciting game. Looks like it is going to be a big upgrade from Diablo 3. I'm very excited about it. And one of the things that people are going to be asking the question of, is this game coming into Xbox Game Pass day one when it releases? Now, we know the game is coming out in 2023, and now it looks like we know that it is probably going to be dropping in April. So we have this report here from Windows Central, and they say here, as discussed on today's Xbox Era podcast, the team there revealed the possibility of Diablo 4 launching in April of 2023. We can also tentatively corroborate the April 2023 launch window via our own proven sources alongside some other details. Now, on top of that, there is some more information that was leaked, and apparently they're able to corroborate this too, So it says here, rumors appearing over the summer revealed that Diablo 4 would be announced at the Game Awards, originally leaking via the classic WoW subreddit. We have seen additional evidence that appears to confirm this rumor alongside various beta windows, and Blizzard is planning a sizable marketing blitz for Diablo 4 starting at the Game Awards in 2022, where the game's April launch window should be revealed. Additionally, pre-orders should open during the show, including various digital editions and a premium physical collector's edition with various goodies for hardcore fans. If our information is correct, one of the pre-order benefits will be early access to Diablo 4's open beta in February of 2023. And this game is planning a season-based live service that will be supported by microtransactions. So that's a lot of exciting stuff. April 2023 looks like it's going to be the release date for Diablo 4. Again, like I said, it looks absolutely incredible from the trailers that we have seen so far. And I mean, this has the biggest question that people are probably asking right now. Does this mean that April is going to be a time where it's going to be able to launch into Xbox Game Pass on day one? Right now, as we know, it seems like March is going to be the time that the Xbox and Activision Blizzard deal has a final decision, whether that means it closes or not. But if it can get closed by March, it does seem like this game is going to be launching into Game Pass day one. I hope that's Xbox's plan right away when the Activision Blizzard deal closes and they become a part of Xbox Game Studios, is that a massive drop of games come into the service. But that's it for me, guys. What are your thoughts on God of War Ragnarok being essentially a PlayStation 4 game upgraded for the PS5? Are you excited for Diablo 4? Do you think it is going to launch in April? And do you think it will launch to Xbox Game Pass on day one? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.